Welcome everybody to the Cosmic Kickback. Hope you guys' quarantine's going well. Took a little break from posting for 2 weeks, been practicing social distancing, but we're back. We've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we haven't posted in 2 weeks?
Yeah, pretty much after I came back from New York.
Yeah, we had a quarantine Nick. We put him in a bubble and just left him.
My friends actually didn't hang out with me. Well, my neighbors for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I was looking mad. But...
Well, you had to leave Nick alone. Alright, we got the quick shake for the dog. Yeah, we had to leave Nick alone. You never know. I mean, normally we don't even know with Nick. This dude has a bucket of grease in his house at all times.
It's the number one carrier for Corona.
Yeah, I wouldn't, dude. Don't open that shit, dude. I wouldn't even be surprised.
It's in there.
You got
Corona in a jar.
Patient zero, bro. Is the grease. That's where it originated. All right, Nick. What do you want to discuss on today's episode? 2 weeks gone.
Well, first 5 minutes, let's just talk about coronavirus updates and then just stop.
Okay.
I also want to talk about other shit.
Okay.
I'm watching a lot of Netflix, playing a lot of video games.
Yeah. Oh, all your quarantine type stuff.
Oh.
Hope everyone out there is practicing the same stuff, staying safe, washing your hands,
social distancing,
being careful.
20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most people are. So I'm not going to say this. I know for a fact all of you guys are sitting in your home that are watching this on Instagram. So watch the video. You guys need some quarantine content. We got you. Watch all the podcast episodes. We got them on YouTube. We got them on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere. Follow us. Do it all. We got our Twitter account. We got our Instagram account. We got our personal accounts. We got our YouTube accounts. We got everything, bro. Follow it all. Merch coming soon.
I'd like to do merch, actually.
So, yeah, I mean, everyone's at home right now. Just give it a chance, bro. You don't know.
Let's blow up.
Yeah, watch the video. Listen to it if you don't want to watch a single video.
You guys can roast me too.
Yeah, just put this video on play. Give it a chance. We know you guys are just sitting at home not doing anything. We know you're not busy. Watch it. Come on.
Okay. I mean, besides, I can look up the stats really quick. Actually, no, never mind.
Well, one thing I saw on the news today, it's the first bit of news, because I've been very nonchalant about this, even though it obviously at this point is a pretty big deal.
To me, it's just I'm just a freaking college student in a house.
Yeah.
I'm fine. But in the grand scheme of things, the world's kind of getting...
Oh, yeah, and I saw the first bit of news that legitimately actually kind of scared me for a quick second. I was like, yo, for real? So, pretty much, we live, for anyone that does not know, we live in San Antonio, Texas, quite a large city. And it's a big city. I think the third biggest in our state. Maybe second, I don't know. It's third or fourth. It's definitely
Dallas, Houston, and then...
I think we're third. I think Austin's fourth.
No. Oh, yeah. We're bigger than Austin.
I'm pretty sure. But anyway, does not matter. We live in a certain county, because, there's counties and cities. Our county, up until recently, had no cases. And I was like, bro, I'm chilling. There was only 2 or 3 cases in San Antonio, a couple weeks back. And they were all being held on base because it's a military city, and they were holding the people on base, keeping them quarantined, trying to get them fixed. And I don't know. I've just been chilling in my house, playing games, watching movies and stuff. Quarantining myself. Reading. And I saw the news today, and apparently there's 500 and something cases in our county, in the county that we both live in, all our friends live in. And I was like, hold up, what? And that was just a couple hours ago. I saw that stat.
Bruh.
And I that actually scared me. I was like, dude, 580. It's the most out of any county. In our city. That is a lot. 500 and something cases of people that are what is it? They're positive for the coronavirus. They have it in there.
I guarantee you, half of those people aren't even staying indoors too.
Yeah, it's probably all the people. Yeah, dude. One of our friends, I won't say who, was not even aware that our city is on a mandatory lockdown unless it's an essential need to leave your house for groceries or for your job. Which, by the way, that's why I'm here. I consider this a part-time job.
Yeah.
So, holy shit, the fucking dog just squealed. Dude, that scared the fucking shit out of me, dude.
So, my dog, look, I love him, but he's a fucking baby.
Dude, his dog, I don't even understand sometimes what this dog be doing. But... Anyway, the stat scared me, the 500, and I was like, for a second, I was like, dude, our county? What? It's the county we both live in, bro. Actually, you might be living on the outskirts of it, but, you're right on the edge of it, I think.
I'm Helotes.
Yeah. And
yeah.
I don't live in.
It pretty much gets divided by like.
It's the fucking highway, but you live like right outside of it.
Yeah.
I live right inside of it, so whatever.
I think people just gotta like stop being selfish. Because like they'll
Okay.
have it, but they'll just be like, "Oh, I need that toilet paper, dude," or like just stay indoors.
Never mind, dude. I have like 2 rolls left in my house. We've been good for like the last month, and now we have 2 rolls left. And I'm like, my mom asked me, she's like, "Oh, when you're done doing the podcast on the way, can you get some toilet paper?" And I was like, "Oh God."
You've seen those memes of like people bring out like pallets of them at the store, and then people are just like, "Yeah," like
Dude,
zombie
yeah.
sounds, just freaking tearing it.
Bro, I don't want to go there, dude. I don't want to see how it is. I've seen all the memes. I don't want to go to any of those places. Dude, Costco, that's actually where I've gone in the past, not during this epidemic or this pandemic. They give you like rolls with like 40, bro, and you'd be set. But one of our friends, we have a group chat.
Put his name drop.
I could name drop. I don't really care. Do you want to name drop him? Bro, who cares, bro?
I don't know.
I'll tag him in the video, bro. We got Cody in here. He's been on the episode before. Pretty much, we all were texting each other in our group chat, like, "Dang, bro, how you guys doing? Haven't hung out in a while." And then this dude Cody just like, "Yeah, bro, like, what you guys been doing? Like, how about we do like squad like beach trip like this weekend?" And I was just like,
Oh, I read that.
and everybody was just like, "What?" And then he's like, "Yeah, you're right. Like, beach might be closed. Like, all right, squad lake trip." And I was just like, "Fam, like."
Dude, I read that. I was like, is he actually serious?
I thought he was joking
Yeah,
for a
me
second,
too.
and then I was like, "Bruh, like this dude don't know what quarantine means." And then he's like, "What? Isn't it like the same thing where it's 10 people or less and you're good?" And I was like, "Fam, that was like a month ago. Like it's changed. Like it's a mandatory.
Drastically.
It's a mandatory like city, statewide lockdown in your house." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Bro, do you not keep up with like what, dude?" I was so surprised.
He's on YouTube like 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch like the news like religiously. Like I don't every single day like watch the 4,
I don't
the
base all my
5, the
facts
6.
off of it. I watch
Yeah.
like a bunch of sources and then put together what.
That's exactly what I do. But I mean, even if I don't watch like the local news or the world news, I'm still gonna probably find out by Twitter. Like Twitter, usually all the news
Yeah.
pops up anyway.
It has like a whole news section.
Yeah, I usually look at the news sections where I see most of the stuff. But dude, how do you not know that? Like, that's a pretty big thing. Like, that's almost as bad as like there's like an active like terrorist threat going on in your city, and they're saying stay inside, and they say, "Bro, y'all trying to go hit up Six Flags," and it's just like, "Bro, this dude's out there shooting," and he's like, "What?" Like that's pretty much like the same kind of thing, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that dude reached a new low for me on that one, dude. I was like, bro, that was really bad. Like,
Roast
fuck.
Cody in the comments.
Yeah, bro, we'll roast that dude relentlessly, bro. He deserves it.
That's enough for the coronavirus updates. Other than that,
Yeah.
I think like a day or two ago I heard that a tiger at the Bronx Zoo, which is like New York is like the worst place, got coronavirus, which is a perfect segue.
It's the first animal to get one as well.
I think so.
The very first one. All the other ones.
No, I've heard of it. It's made news.
Yeah, dogs are chilling, bro. They can't get
It's
it.
weird. Cats can get it, but dogs.
Oh, that's a good point. I wonder if house cats can get it.
Dude,
I mean,
so-
I don't really like house cats, so I'm okay.
I don't like cats in general.
I mean, I don't have anything against tigers or lions or anything of
Yeah,
that
that's pretty
sort.
cool. If I can like have my distance. Those shit you're scared.
You haven't touched one, bro?
No.
Dude, I touched them.
I've touched an elephant before.
I'm
Like
trying
at
to
the
think, what
zoo.
have I touched?
What animals have I touched? I've touched like a dog, a cat.
That's actually a good question. We should
Maybe.
make a list. Top 5 animals I've touched.
We have to just do the whole top 5 episode. It's like
Yeah.
baddies,
Oh, God.
burgers.
Yeah. But before we get into our main topic, we were playing Call of Duty, and for those who want to follow my streaming account, I got Mixer. I also have a Twitch, but like Twitch is kind of like, I don't know.
Sexist.
Yeah. So I bought Mixer recently. You can follow me. Link in the description if you want. We were just playing Warzone the other day. Me, Nick, and I think Cody. Nick and Cody dropped their top 5 baddie lists. We were gonna make a whole episode on that, but we'll save the top 10 for the episode whenever James Bond comes out. You
Didn't
can
I
do
give them?
your Bond girls,
Oh yeah, you're right.
and then this was like the baddie list. So it was just like any girl in general that Nick wants. Cody's list was whack.
Alright.
I can respect your list.
Some random Instagram girl.
No, dude. There was the girl that he put at number 3. Her I'm not gonna say because she's not even like a celebrity. She's just like a random chick he happens to.
It's like someone you can see at your gym.
It's literally like, no offense, like all girls are queens, all girls are nice. Like, like respect all women. No simp shit here, just off the But I'm just saying, this dude had anyone to pick. He could have picked Jessica Alba. He could have picked
3.5 billion women
he could have picked
in the world.
He could have picked any of these celebrities. Like there's Elizabeth Olsen out there. There's
I didn't even think about that when I was putting my list together.
There's all these people out there. There's Alison Brie. There's all these girls.
Did I even think about her?
Yeah.
Damn.
Scarlett Johansson's. There's all these girls out there.
Yeah.
That's the point. And this dude just picked a random chick. It's not just a chick from his gym. I didn't say this on the stream. It's a girl that him and Michael knew personally because of I think she briefly worked at Six Flags or something, and they just knew of her. And I think they went to go work out with her one time, and Coda was just like, "Damn, bro, she's kind of thick," and so that's why he picked her because he was like, "Dude, she's the thickest chick I've ever seen." And he's like, "She's the thickest chick I've ever seen," and I was like, "Bro, like, is that the only thing you're picking off of? Like no."
Dude, I reached a point where I'm just like. It gets to a point where like, oh, okay, this girl has a nice butt, but like, almost like every girl, there are other girls that look just like that, and so you can pick a girl that has a nice butt, then also as like a successful actor, and like,
yeah, dude,
you know what I mean? It just starts getting like repetitive and shit.
Oh, I get that. Cody's list was whack as hell. Who was his number one?
Couldn't tell.
That was his number 3. Did he finish his list?
I don't think he did.
Dude, his list was fucking shit from the start.
No, I think he picked. Did he pick Ana de Armas as the first one? I was telling him to.
We told him who it was because that was your number 1, and then he was like, "Who the fuck is that?" And I was like, "She was in Knives Out," and I was like, "Marta," and then he was like, "Bro, the fucking maid," and he's like, "Gross," and we were like, "Bro,
I was like, dude,
it's an acting role. It's not like
that
that's not
wasn't
she's
a real
story.
story.
That's not a real person." And then I tried saying like she's been in these other movies. He didn't know any of them.
Yeah, bro, she's gonna be in Bond. I don't know if like,
dude,
because the new Bond, he's like.
She's having a Fortnite skin of her. You copping?
Yes. 10,000 V-Bucks. I don't know if she's gonna be a Bond girl or just like a side character, because
I think she's a Bond girl.
In the new movie, he like, I guess he got married. I didn't really pay attention to Spectre because it sucked, but I guess like this guy comes to like hunt Bond's wife, and then like Ana de Armas is in it. She's doing like backflips and like kicking fucking shit, like shooting on dudes. But I don't know. I'm just excited to see her, dude.
Yeah, it comes out in November now.
Like most things.
Which one thing, before we talk about what we watched on Netflix, I have a list really quick. This will be really quick, Nick.
Okay.
It's just, since our podcast is pretty much like, it started with Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were like, bro, let's all hop on. Pretty much everything's been pushed back, as you know, most movies are. But Marvel, every single movie, not just like Black Widow, which was delayed, every single movie now has been delayed that they had in their like phase 4 slate.
Oh, isn't phase 4 pushed like back a whole year now?
Pretty much, in a way. I have all the dates right here. I wanted to. Pretty much all they've done is, so for example, Black Widow was supposed to come out like, is it May or was it March?
May.
So Black Widow was supposed to come out in May, and then the end of this year in November was when Eternals was supposed to come out.
I was actually excited.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out
really cool.
in November. What they've done is they pretty much pushed each movie's release date back by 1. So now Black Widow comes out where Eternals would have came out, and Eternals comes out
it's all just like shifted.
when Shang-Chi would have come. Yeah, they all got shifted back by 1 release date. So it's not technically delayed, but it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now Eternals will come out February next year, 2021, which is when Shang-Chi would have came out. Now Shang-Chi's coming out in May.
So pretty much everything that you were hyped for is just gotten like 8 months longer.
Yeah.
Away
Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, November 5th, 2021. Thor Love and Thunder now, which would have been that release date, November 5th, 2021, is now February 18th, 2022.
Dude, what about their contracts? Because like, what if Chris Hemsworth is only available? He's only signed to like the middle of 2021, but they start shoot. That movie comes out like, you know what I mean?
I'm sure.
It's like their contracts are not extended.
I'm sure he likes like the studio. There's no way he'd just be like, "Hey, bro, y'all gotta pay me some more." Like, my contract's done. I'm sure he would just be nice enough to sign on again and just do it. Nice. You know.
Seems like one.
Black Panther 2 apparently is May 8th, 2021. Captain Marvel 2.
Asleep.
July 8th, 2022. And then there's release dates for untitled MCU movies. So I'm pretty much, this is probably like a Blade, because Blade didn't.
Oh yeah, they and everyone freaked out.
Yeah, they just showed, they didn't give a release date for it. They said they're making it. There's an October 7th, 2022, and then there's 4 movies now coming out in 2023. 1 in February, 1 in May, 1 in July, and 1 in November. So pretty much everything has just been delayed.
Fuck you, Crow.
The one thing speaking on, I don't really care about this since I'm not really missing out. Like, it would be more annoying if, it's pretty smart what they did actually, because it'd be more annoying if they were like, oh, like Black Widow, like we'll just wait to announce when it'll come out. And then they're like, oh shit, like now let's delay like Thor, or like now let's delay Eternals. They just pushed everything back, which I guess is the smartest thing to do. But I'm wondering what they're going to do with the Disney Plus shows, because they're streaming, so I would imagine it doesn't matter. But since they're connected to the movies very heavily, since they're actually
are they gonna have to like
are they gonna have to?
Because they plan to do like movie show.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch this as like a buffer in the movie.
And I heard that the Scarlet Witch TV show was supposed to go directly into Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness, because she's in that movie. Like it's like a buddy team up for like her and Doctor Strange. So it's supposed to bleed directly into that. So if now Doctor Strange is shifted by like 5 or 6 months, does that now mean that the other one is shifted by 6 months as well, even though it's just streaming? So if that's the case, that sucks, because I think a lot of people are excited for those shows to get on Disney Plus.
They might just like delay it by like half the time the movie was delayed, because then you can have time to watch it. Like, and they'll probably do the weekly releases.
That is true. The weekly release thing.
So they'll just stretch out the time of the.
What they should do is they should have the last episode of that series be like the week before the movie comes out.
Yeah, that'd be smart. I'm assuming there'll be like 10 to like 12 episodes, so that's like almost 3 months.
Yeah.
Around-ish. So.
Hopefully, there's Loki. There's WandaVision. There's there's Falcon Winter Soldier. There was one more I'm forgetting. There's like all the other ones like She-Hulk, Moon Knight, but those aren't filming yet, so we don't know. But that's all the news I think we have for that. Pretty much everything's delayed.
Speak on it. It sucks, but
we got Netflix.
I know.
And Netflix has
quarantine. I've been watching a lot of Netflix.
Dude, I just watched
one thing that's blown up, which kind of went under my nose from like after I got back from New York. Apparently it came out on March 20th. But the number one show in the United States today on Netflix is Tiger King. If you guys haven't heard of it, I mean, you can watch this. It's an all true story. Like it's on the internet, but I would highly consider watching it. You guys are all sitting at
home. Watch this, no one watching this is doing anything right now. Finish the podcast and then go put on Tiger King, or
do it the other way.
Put Tiger King on. Come back and watch this at this point, because we're gonna get right into spoilers probably.
Yeah.
So
spoil real life.
Pause it real quick. Go watch Tiger King. Come back and finish it, because I know you guys.
It takes like 8 hours.
I know you guys are just sitting at home. You guys have got nothing to do. So we're giving you guys stuff to do. Go watch that. Come back. If you've already seen it, you're a good person. We're going to get right into it. So we got Joe Exotic.
Okay.
Got Carol Baskin.
Do you want to play the video? Wait, can we just start this by playing this video?
Yeah, okay. We're going to hop right into Tiger King by playing one of the best memes.
We'll put it up on the screen if you're watching. If not, you just get to hear this amazing video. Yeah, did you send it to me?
It's in our squad chat, I think.
Oh, that's right, G Fuel. So made a Joe Exotic drink, or it's a concept.
Dude, they should actually release it.
Dude, I'd buy it like fucking 8 packs.
Pretty much concept or some context for the video. If I'm gonna say regardless, like this spoilers, bro. But this chick Carol Baskin probably killed her husband.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she had something to do with it. And this dude's just memeing the hell out of it. He's dressed up as Joe Exotic, this character, and. Can you not find it?
I got it.
Okay. I'll put it
Carol
up on
Baskin killed her husband, whacked her. Can't convince me that it didn't happen.
Oh, you got the movie.
Venom to tigers, they snacking. What's happening? Carol Baskin.
Ooh. I have to like that again.
The ending, Carol Baskin.
Got it. All right. If that hasn't intrigued you, then like.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Come on. I knew nothing about any of this going into the show. I don't know how I missed any of this not appearing in the news. I've been alive since 1999, and I did not know this dude existed. I did not know Carol Baskin existed. I did not know any of this. I could have lived through this.
That would have been even fucking crazier.
It's insane. You know
Carol Baskin is from San Antonio?
I heard that, yeah.
Oh, God, what a fucking shame, dude. I gotta get out of this city. Alright, but getting into it, because we're just like spinning off.
Well, technically, we're not from San Antonio. If you want to go off of that,
yeah,
just lived here most of our lives.
I'm trying to read just like the Netflix like
Oh, there's
like the bio, because they sum it
description.
up very well. Here it is. All right, so pretty much this whole documentary revolves around like this guy named Joe Exotic, and he is as Netflix describes, a gun-toting operator of this Oklahoma like cat park, and they pretty much they build up to the final episode where he apparently hires someone to murder his I guess competitor.
His rival.
His rival, there you go, who also owns like a big cat like zoo.
Yeah.
And it's like this whole freaking scandal. And starting from the first episode to like the last one, it becomes like more and more crazy. It's like you're watching a movie.
Yeah, and dude, I'm so glad I didn't know anything about this
It
because
makes it all the more better.
yeah, because at the end of the first episode, they give you a little like sneak peek,
Yeah.
and you hear him say like I'm in the goddamn jail, like you wouldn't believe what these people have done. He's like, I'm gonna tell it all, and it's just
Yeah.
like what?
Yeah,
So
each episode I would freaking end it and I'm like, alright, I gotta go and like do homework. And then it would end on a cliffhanger. I'm like, fuck.
Dude,
I
yeah.
need to watch the next one.
I watched the first 2 episodes like at 3 a.m. one night when I couldn't sleep, and I was trying to fall asleep to it. And then I was like, my eyes like shot up.
That's
I was like,
Squidward
dude.
like me. Like,
Yeah, and I watched 2, and then I fell asleep. I went to sleep after the second one. Then I just binged pretty much the whole thing the next day, and I finished everything with the last episode.
yeah.
God, man,
We-
what a show!
It's insane, dude.
Apparently, there's a new episode coming out. Did you hear that?
Yeah, oh yeah. Is it gonna be like,
I don't know.
I would like at least 1 or 2 episodes just to like wrap everything. Because it ended well.
It ends
It
well,
also came out at like such an insane.
but it's such a good show. You want to see more. Like you're like, dude, there's got to be more. Like, dude, every time you think it's about something crazy happens. Something more shit keeps happening throughout the whole show.
Yeah. Just keeps escalating.
Yeah, and I didn't even though I heard that he was in jail, like at the end of the first one, like I knew he went to jail for something. I didn't. Oh, you just saw him. You saw how wild he is. So I was like, okay, he could have gone for like anything. Like,
Yeah.
so I didn't know it was gonna be something so big at the end. But then it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, there's so much shit that goes down that like the main point of it, which is I guess like the murder, like for hire shit at the end. That's not even the craziest thing to me. I think
No.
crazier shit happened in it. Dude, bro.
I agree. I mean, if you haven't watched it or you just listen, like, spoiler, I think the craziest thing that happened is like his second husband that just like shot himself accidentally.
So yeah, that popped up like in like episode 6.
That was, dude, that actually caught
5
me
or
by
6.
surprise.
It was.
Because I was actually, as I was watching that episode, I was like looking up his husbands and stuff. And luckily, I didn't know how, but like I just scrolled past it, like apparently he died. But I was like, who's this Travis kid? And then like I put my phone down, I just continued the episode, and it shows like the footage of like the camera, pretty much getting that dude's reaction.
Yeah, luckily that crap wasn't on like the actual
Dude.
security camera.
Dude, we gotta take this piece by piece now. So let's talk about Joe first, and then we'll talk about the other zoos and just get to the point.
Yeah.
We'll pretty much follow the way that the documentary.
Okay.
Did. So
Well, Joe Exotic or whatever. I don't know what his birth.
I can
name is.
completely understand why he's like his charm, dude. Because like the first 2 episodes, I really liked him. I was like, dude, this guy's fucking cool.
You go from
I'd like him to be my uncle.
yeah, you like him, then you don't like him, then you like him again, then you don't like him, then you.
Yeah. He's like a people person.
I'm kind of sympathetic toward him. Not really anybody else, but I kind of can't help but feel sympathetic toward him because I feel like he got fucking screwed. Like everyone screwed this guy.
Yeah.
Like he only had like a couple people that are actually loyal to him,
Yeah.
and none of them were like, they weren't asked to like help him out at the end, and it's kind of like what the fuck.
Yeah.
But he's pretty much a guy who found a fascination of tigers in his youth.
Yeah.
And he was like, damn, I can get a tiger for only $2,000? Like, shit. So, gotta open his own zoo. And then,
It just grows to like 137 animals in total.
grows very large. It's like a private zoo out in Oklahoma. Apparently there's other people doing it too. That we get introduced to Doc Antle, another guy.
Oh yeah, the fucking.
That guy's, I don't know.
There was nothing wrong with him. He was kind of just on the sidelines the whole documentary, just like.
In the first episode, I thought he was like like he was the most normal one. He seemed very educated. Like he spoke.
He has a master's degree in like mystical science.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they say.
So at first seems like to be the most educated one, the most normal one. Like he's the most professional one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get introduced and find out more shit. And apparently he's pretty much running like a
cult, dude.
It's like yeah.
It's hard to explain, but
he has all these girls like
he brings these young girls like around Oklahoma to his
like
zoo.
17, 18 years old.
Yeah,
around
and
that
he
age.
gives them jobs, and they work like insane hours, dude. And pretty much like they
He
come.
purposely gets them too because he wants them to look good. He wants attractive young girls.
Yeah, and since like they're young and like looking for a job, they're mostly virgins, and he ends up sleeping with them, and
It's probably for the job. Like it doesn't. They don't go too much on that.
one of the workers said like if you want to like make it here, you need to sleep with them.
Yeah,
Or, like you don't have to. But
oh
that
yeah, they
helps.
interviewed one past worker.
Yeah, someone that left.
And she said that it was very. She said she slept like in a cage, like literally. Remember, she said there was like cockroaches like all over the floor and shit.
Yeah. The second episode's like about the workers in the place. And
That's when you find out that the Doc Ansel guy is not as clean as he seems.
Yeah.
And he's very careful about not talking about stuff, you know.
Yeah, he didn't blurt out something and just was like, oh.
Like Joe Exotic, when he speaks, he's pretty like I'm just gonna say whatever.
Straight up.
I don't give a shit.
Well, straight up do that.
Exactly. And Doc Ansel's very careful with the words.
He seems the most calculated.
He definitely is. I don't know what the fuck mystical science is, but
I don't know.
It's implied in one episode. I don't know where, but a lot of people suspect that he puts down his tiger cubs.
Yeah, in the last episode they talk about it again, but in the second episode when they're talking about the employees and stuff, the one that they interviewed, she's like, "Oh, I really bonded with this one tiger cub, and one day he just like disappeared." And Doc said like, "Oh, I took care of him."
And pretty much a tiger's life, they have like this one small like fraction. They show a graph on it, and there's a little section where they're like still a cub. They're small.
Like 1 to 16
Yeah,
weeks.
and it's like a couple weeks old, and people can play with them, pet them, take pictures with them. Kids can play with them. They're not really violent at all. You know, they're safe.
They're child.
Yeah.
Babies.
Yeah, people love to play with little tigers. So that's like the money making point pretty much, because they can charge people money to take pictures with them, to touch them, to pick them up, to play with them. That's where you get the money at. And this dude Doc Ansel would breed the tigers on his facility, and since he has the tiger cubs, he is then using them to get a ton of money. And then once they've gotten old enough to that age where he's like, oh, I can't afford to have another full-grown growing tiger here.
Because it costs like $3,000 to feed an adult,
Yeah.
an adult tiger.
And there's one part. So Doc Ansel obviously has more money too than Joe Exotic.
Yeah, his house. I
Yeah.
feel like his top girls, they get their own houses and shit.
Oh damn. Okay. Well, but because they ask him like how much does it take to feed like all the tigers in a year, and he says something like that was like $1 million or something like that. It was like 750,000, somewhere really close to $1 million. Then they asked Joe Exotic the same, and he said like 50,000 or something like that.
Oh yeah, Joe's.
And it's because he gets like the leftover scraps from Walmart, like the old meats that are old, and they eat that too. Like they'll get first
he would
picks.
feed it to his workers and shit.
Yeah. So it's obviously more poor out there. Like it's just how it is. But Doc Ansel, he obviously has more money. He's feeding all these tigers. So they're like, he has so many cubs that are getting this money, but he doesn't want to have to feed them and have them grow old and all this shit. So it's implied that he probably puts them down, euthanizes the cubs once they've reached that age where they can't make money with the kids or the families anymore, which is not a good thing.
That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
I think it was so weird because the first episode I actually was just like, oh wow, like this is about a zoo, and like, dude, no one in the whole like documentary that actually owns the zoo even cares about the tigers. Like by the third episode, it's not even about the tigers anymore.
Yeah.
And they say that like, there's more tigers in captivity in the United States than there are in like the wild.
In the wild in general.
It's like a 3-to-1 ratio, which is insane.
I think at the beginning, Joe Exotic cared for the animals, and then I think somewhere along the way he got too caught up with like the fame. You know?
Yeah.
Because he started off as just the zoo guy.
He started getting like a god complex.
And then he got like all these, like he has like this online presence of like YouTube and his TV show, and they're calling him the Tiger King. So he's just like, bro, hell yeah, like, I'm the fucking Tiger King, bro, let's go. And I think along the way he got lost with all of that going on. When he had that moment of success, he was getting because dude, this could have gone such a different way, and that's how I feel. I think I still feel kind of bad about it, because I'll get to like what happens later on, but something happens and his show never comes out, and that show would have like probably been on like National Geographic or something like that, because there was a guy producing it who was like an actual like like
producer,
like he had a good career
production,
like on Inside Edition and like other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he obviously knew what he was doing. He was a good producer. So he was gonna produce this, and he definitely could have got it to air with his credentials. So Joe Exotic, like just in this past 10 years was filming this. Right now, he could have been like millionaire because of his show and like all the stuff. He could have had like a much different.
You could have had more money to like fight the court case.
His life could have ended up in a different place if the show would have came out, but it never did. And there's a reason why that happened. But I don't know if I want to talk about that. I want to keep talking about get to that point. You know what I mean? Happens later on in the show.
I think it ended really well though. Pretty much like somewhat what you're talking about, because like to not spoil what like happens, but like pretty much the last like 4 minutes of like the documentary, it just shows like Joe in like a news report in like I think early 2000s, and it's just like when his zoo is like very very small, and he's just like,
oh yeah.
He's just like, yeah, I just want to like take care of the animals and stuff. And he talks about these 2 monkeys that he had. He like kept them like side by side in a cage, and he finally had to sell them. And then like they're down at the zoo, I think in Florida, and like they're in their own exhibit. They're just like hugging each other. Mm-hmm. And he's like, when I saw that, like I thought like, did I like deprive them of that like, what's the word when you're like close to somebody?
Hug.
Yeah, I guess. Did he deprive them of like like touching and like hugging and stuff for like 10 years, and like he didn't do it deliberately, but he said
he pretty much said he felt bad and he regretted it. He
said he got busy like taking care of the zoo, and I just take that as like a metaphor, like he just got bigger with like he got busy with the bigger scale of things than like what it really was about.
I think he definitely by the end of it realized.
And I just took that as like he had good intentions, but at a certain point the zoo just became so much bigger than him that he couldn't like handle it.
I think that would happen to a lot of people. Like I don't know about like all the crazy shit that goes down, but I could see if I had like something running with like an animal I enjoy, like dogs. I love dogs. My girlfriend loves dogs. If we made like a refugee area for dogs or something, I could see at the beginning it being all about the dogs. And if I then was like, yeah, we want to make a show about this and then all this stuff, I could see how I could get lost with the money and the fame and the like all the shooting and stuff.
Yeah.
And I could worry about, oh, how are the ratings? Like, oh, how are my like publicity deals? Like, oh, like how are my shots looking and stuff like that. And then I'm not really paying attention to like what I did this for, you know?
Yeah.
And I could see that happening to me or like anybody really. So that's why I think I still
lose your way pretty much.
I sympathize with him because of that. And obviously like what stuff he's done is wrong. What all of them have done is wrong. But I think what he's done is like the least bad out of everybody else in the show. I think everyone else has done so much worse than him, and he's the only one that got punished for it, and that's what I hate to see.
That's why I'm glad near the end, like they actually, I think that's the only like time you see, or they just showed him in that light where he just like showed regret, but everyone else like Carol Baskin, who like apparently like kills her tigers,
got into her,
and like Doc Antle, who's this fucking like crazy cult dude who euthanizes babies. Like none of them ever were just like, yeah, like I've done like bad shit, I'm sorry. Yeah, and I'm glad they showed that part. Like it ended like really really good. And now I think like if this documentary came out a couple years ago before he got arrested, I think it would be fucking crazy. But it was still being made. But pretty much everyone like loves Joe, and hopefully free Joe Exotic, dude.
Yeah, so pretty much there's another girl, there's a character in the show, Carol Baskin.
Yeah, the one that he murdered or hires someone to murder. Yeah. Excuse me.
So, and this girl is so weird. Like I saw a video of her because this show came out like a month ago almost. Actually, maybe like 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Yeah, and since then people have gotten on it. We just watched it like when this last.
I finished it like a day ago.
Yeah, I think we both seen it within the last week.
Yeah,
and people have watched this already. So people started posting memes, obviously. So clips of this Carol Baskin chick. I guess she has like her big cat rescue and like her own personal accounts on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, she's like what they say is like the biggest entity of the big cat thing.
It's probably because she has people like PETA and like the Dodo, like other animal organizations behind her. So they all like are like, oh, this chick's cool. It's all the middle-aged moms that love cats. Like they're just all over.
It like legitimizes her.
Probably. I can't see any people our age like being like, yeah, Carol Baskin, I like her. Like no, but she has these intros to her videos where she turns on her like selfie camera And he's like, oh, like, hey, all you cool cats and kittens out there. She's like, I'm just going here about to feed my snow leopard over here. Like, and then,
Oh, you want to pull that clip up?
oh, the one with the meme one?
Yeah. Well, actually, hold on.
We'll put
We'll watch
that
it later in context.
Yeah. So this girl, she has, when they first introduced her, I recognized her from the meme, but the meme was just like making fun of her like intro. Like I didn't understand it yet. I didn't even know who she was. But the show introduces her, and at first you think like, oh, this might be like the only good person in the thing. Like you're like, oh, she's running like a big cat rescue thing. Like she doesn't like Joe Exotic because she's like PETA. They don't believe in zoos or like keeping animals like in cages and all that. Which I can agree with that to an extent as well. I'm kind of on the fence of both sides. I like to sit right in the middle so I don't lean toward heavily.
Look at both.
Yeah, so pretty much, but she's against it, so she has backing. People like her because of that. And you at the beginning, you're thinking, like, oh, this girl's going to be, like, I guess the protagonist in a way. Like, everyone's going to side with her, we're going to see. And then things just go a completely different way with this girl.
Yeah.
Episode 3, I think it is. And they just dive hard. Is it 3? They just go hard into...
I can check.
They just go hard into Carol Baskin. And pretty much, this girl has... They go... There's a whole episode, I think it's 3. And they just explain how she pretty much got to where she is now because she started dating this guy back when she was younger, like in her 20s, like in the 70s or something.
He's like twice her age.
Yeah, this guy was like... In the 70s, this guy was like in his maybe like, what, 40s, 50s? So, pretty much... She's dating him, and that guy was actually cheating on his wife and family with Carol Baskin.
He like ran away from her.
Yeah. So they end up sleeping together, and then they end up getting married. He leaves his family for her, and everything's good. And I think people believe that she's just extremely controlling. And I think when she started getting older, like he was like, oh, bro, like this guy pretty much just didn't want to settle down. He always wanted the youngest girl, I guess.
He's a player.
Yeah, but he was a millionaire. He had millions of dollars from somehow. I don't think they ever explained how he got his money, but
I think he's like a businessman or
something. Yeah, he had a ton of money, and he would. I guess Carol Baskin would like that, so she was able to do her. She started the beginnings of I guess her zoo and shit, and I think at first what's his name did not want to pay for all of that, so there was speculation like, oh, he wants to get a divorce or something. But before any of that can go through, she knew like she would lose all the money that she had from him.
So pretty much like embezzled like his money and messed with a lot of the legal stuff. Even took out like the appointed like power person who's supposed to, the lawyer who pretty much handles like what happens in court.
The power of attorney.
The power of attorney who gets like what and all that.
Yeah, and so the guy, her ex-husband,
Don.
Yeah, he I guess just one day randomly disappears, and then on the news she calls the police. I guess they pull up. They're like, "Where's your husband?" She's like, "Oh, he's disappeared. I haven't seen him since like a day or two."
Yeah, she took like a day or two to actually be concerned, which is always suspicious. And this van that he was supposed to like take to the airport's there, and like, but the plane is gone. Like, it's pretty much set up and like planned to look like, or at least like it's just suspected that it's planned to make it look like he ran away.
Yeah,
like,
so
out of nowhere.
he liked to fly planes. So she said that he was supposed to go somewhere, like I don't know what country, like on a trip or something.
It was like Colombia or something.
Some shit. And he had like his own little private like plane that he would drive. And when the police started looking for him, they found the van just parked right out there in the middle of like the runway at this like little private airport, and the door was like wide open. But like I think what they say like his wallet and shit was like all left in there.
Yeah.
And just didn't make sense. And the plane gone? The plane was gone?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember. All I know is the guy was gone, and she was just saying like, yeah, like he's gone, and no one really knew what happened. And then 5 years later, like right after, since she's the wife, she becomes power of attorney, which is
so like
you get to make all the
they couldn't
legal
like
decisions.
announce him dead until 5 years after disappearing. So in pretty much like 5 years and one day she inherited all his money, which I think was really like fucking gold diggery and like fucked up.
Yeah, and what happens whenever there's like a battle of somebody like dying or disappearing? Everybody has a will, which they leave like to like their family when they die, like all their like possessions and money. and you usually do all this yourself before you die, or if you're too sick to do it, like if you're starting to get old age, like you don't even have like conscious mind, then you can have like, it's usually either your wife or husband, or it's like your daughter or son. Yeah, someone close to you, and they will go, and then they'll be able to say something like oh, like this will go here, this will go there. They do all the legal shit for them.
Yeah.
And she was the power of attorney for her missing husband, and it's not revealed on if she's the one that made this change, but I would suspect that she did. In his official will,
yeah, she told him like, she tried to convince the doctors he had schizophrenia. That's right.
Yeah,
or some shit like that.
She started thinking that he was having all these issues and that he wasn't in conscious mind, and then in his own will, it says, "Upon my disappearance or death,"
which is like the most uncommon. Even like his.
Who the hell plans for a disappearance?
Yeah.
If I were to write my will, I would just say like.
If I were to disappear, I wouldn't write that shit.
Yeah, nobody plans to disappear. Yeah. That's the weirdest thing to put in your will.
Even like the lawyer who's like helped like
his
like a very
lawyer.
Like well experienced lawyer of like over 40 years. It's like I've never heard someone write that on their will ever.
Yeah, and he even said he remembers talking to him right before like this all went down, before he disappeared, and he was like, yeah, he was in here and he was making some changes to the will, and he's like, yeah, he was gonna divorce her. Like he said, like that was like the plan, and then he says that he believes that he was murdered. And he says he also believes that he was not schizophrenic, or he didn't have like any of these issues.
Pretty much
everyone,
everyone except Carol is just like renouncing that fact that like no, like he didn't have schizophrenia. Yeah, like she was just pretty much fabricated herself.
Yeah, this is your legal attorney, and you come in to talk to him about legal matters. If you weren't of sound mind, this guy would know. Like if you were just like, oh shit, bro, drop $1 million like on some biscuits and like all this shit, like the guy'd be like, what the fuck, no, you know. Yeah. So this guy said, like, no, he was chilling. He was good. All was cool. And Carol Baskin, she like the day after, like you said, 5 years then a day, she just...
To the T.
Yeah, she takes all the money because it's been 5 years, so she can officially pronounce him dead. She pronounces him dead, and she gets everything.
Yeah, everything was Don's kids and actual wife, they got nothing.
Yeah.
They inherited nothing.
All the kids and his wife, all of them... I think they said that they got maybe 10%, and then everything else was with Carol. So I think
they were like, we got 10%.
She might have like thrown them like a bone, like, okay, like just shut up, like
she threw her husband.
And yeah, and they said that the reason why they don't say nothing is because they're all scared of Carol. What she'll do.
She's pretty much bullied everyone into like shutting up.
Yeah, they said that she even told them all like no, like don't say shit. Like,
yeah, like don't. Because all these magazines and like news people wanted to interview Don's original family to talk about like what happened. Mm-hmm. But
and Carol was like, bro, you better fucking not. Like, I swear to God.
Yeah.
And dude, this chick she definitely has something.
I hope something comes to light. The case has like still been open, but it's pretty much like even in later episodes she like makes this. They're talking about like Joe got attacked by a tiger when he was making this video, and like he was saying that like people put something on like my shoes because the tiger was biting my leg. And she's like, oh, like, well, if I wanted someone to, like, attack a tiger, I'd put him in, like sardine oil. And she just laughs it off, bro. Cameron just, like...
She definitely...
Dude, it's...
That's very...
I don't
know if that's intimidating, but it's very suspicious.
I don't feel empathy or sympathy, because I don't understand. I'm sure there's a point, because pretty much all the people, except Doc, have, like, fucked up past. Like, Carol got, like, raped by like some dude across the street from where she lived when she was like 14.
For real?
I don't know if you like.
I just didn't care.
That was that. But yeah, that's what happened, and then she ran away from home because like her parents were like freaking disowned her, which is fucked up. Yeah, and then she met Don on the side of the road. I guess she loved him for a bit, but like she obviously got fucked up in the head, and now.
Dude, she's fucking crazy.
Pretty much killed her husband and took all the money.
And
now she's married to some fucking cuck dude.
Oh god.
Who's just so supportive. Dude, there's a photo of her like having him on a tiger leash, bro.
I'll throw that up on the YouTube video.
I got you, bro.
Dude.
That's fucking major cuck energy coming from it, dude. The whole interview was always just like.
That's when that popped up.
Crazy.
That shit was so weird, bro. There's a part where he's like singing to her, and it's like.
Yeah, dude, that part that actually made me cringe. I was like.
Yeah, I cringed too. Dude. Bro, this guy's so weird. Like. Oh man, he
obviously is just like.
I love the.
I'm scared.
I don't remember what episode it was, but there's an episode where they just play all these clips of Joe Exotic like roasting Carol, pretty much because so Carol goes after Joe. That's a big part of the thing. She goes after him because he has his zoo, and she's like, no, like it's not right to hold tigers. You shouldn't own them. And Joe's like, I love the tigers. Like this is my life. And she's trying to get everything shut down from him, like legally. So Joe, I guess, like then finds out, like, bro, like this bitch killed her fucking husband. Like, what the fuck? Why is no one talking about this?
Yeah.
So he starts making all these videos.
He's pretty much the only one that isn't afraid to like speak out openly about it.
Yeah, he's not afraid at all. I actually really love that part. The part when there's all these videos and he's like Carol fucking Baskin. He's like Carol Baskin's a fucking like idiot. Like, and he's
it's
like
a compilation.
And it's a compilation. It's like Carol Baskin. It's like Carol goddamn Baskin. Carol fucking Baskin.
I got what's coming.
And he keeps going. And there's one. He does get very. He's very like country though. So I don't think his threats are like real. I guess, but then at the end, like it's kind of hard. I don't know, but he says and it's funny when he was saying it. I laughed at it actually because he's like Carol fucking Baskin. He's like, I guarantee goddamn if you do this shit, I'm gonna put a cap in your ass. He fucking has his pistol on his waistband.
Yeah, he says he carries it for people.
Yeah, and it's just like he's like, I don't give a fuck about the cats. He's like, this is for the fucking people. And then when later on, so I'm just gonna say this part now. So he has a studio where he films his like little show for like YouTube or whatever I guess he used to do.
Yeah.
And it also housed all of the equipment for his show that the producer was filming.
Yeah.
It had all of it. Everything they were filming was in there. And on top of that, they also housed, I guess, alligators for a zoo there.
Yeah, it was like a big house for.
Yeah. And somebody burnt it down. Like the whole thing was burned. The alligator's dead. The film, everything's gone.
Yeah. And the producer guys, like, he said he didn't back up anything yet to another drive, so that was the only place.
Because he was living out there. He said he was, like, filming it all, living out there. He had no chance to go to his home and back it up. So pretty much, dude, I thought the computer just died.
No.
Okay. So,
fucking Carol Baskin.
So pretty much, there's a video where he's standing on, like, the debris of the place. And it's just like, he's like, I swear to God, this was Carol fucking Baskin. He's like, whoever, like, did this.
Oh, is that when he's doing the different takes?
Yeah. And he's
like, because I guess they're still filming the show. He's like, my 6 alligators burnt up in it's like, I'll do it one more time.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like they burned up in a firing inferno of flames. And then like they do a third
fiery
take.
Inferno of flames. Does that sound good?
Yeah. It's like my 6 alligators burned in a fiery inferno of flames. It's
and
like Carol Baskin.
Carol fucking Baskin is, I swear to God, this was your ass. And he's like, anyone that has any information of who did this shit, he's like, I got a $10,000 reward. And he's like, you might have silenced me for now. He said, but you awoken a monster.
God. But pretty much, it's like suspected that.
That was very interesting.
That was the interesting part. That like, so Joe was recording this TV show, and he's talking to the producer, and he's like, all right, like I want to put this thing out, I want to do it. And I don't know how I got to this point, but like the producer is pretty much just like Joe, like all this footage is mine. Like it's been mine when you signed the contract for me to shoot here. It's like pretty much you work for me. And I guess Joe didn't like hearing that. And there's like this clip. I don't know why it was released. I don't know how they got it. Because a lot of the time
Joe filmed it himself.
Yeah, he goes to his.
It starts off. He's like, "Are you recording?" And he's just like, "All right, like get that shit in."
Yeah, he goes to his lawyer.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he's like, oh, so you're working with the producer making a TV show. He's like, and he owns all the footage. And he's like, and it's back at your place. It's like, yeah. He's like, doesn't say anything else. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He really asked, like, is it backed up? And he's just like, I don't think so.
He's like, no. He's like, all right. It's like, you gotta take care of that. Pretty much, he says like, you gotta do something to get rid of that footage.
He doesn't say that straight up. But
yeah, he doesn't. It's like, you know, when you sit in silence and like just like.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you know what he's alluding to, but I can see, dude. It's so interesting to me because throughout the show, Joe is painted, or even, maybe he even is like this, but he's painted to be not very intelligent. Like he's obviously smart enough to, I guess,
get. He's got like a high school education.
Pretty much, yeah.
What it comes off to me.
And it just seems like he's not, like Doc Antle seems like he's actually pretty smart, calculated. Joe Exotic's just kind of like off the dome, like doing whatever.
Yeah, he's like says shit and then like regrets it later on.
Yeah, so.
But like this part, it actually like shows like if Joe actually did this, that'd be really smart because he's pretty much playing the dumb hillbilly.
Yeah, and that means he's playing his part well. Like that would be the smartest thing he did. If he's the one that burnt down that stuff But then again, I don't know. Like, because what was his reasoning for burning it? Because he doesn't want to be owned?
I don't know, dude.
Because, like, to me, it doesn't make sense.
They even had
like,
security cameras of someone walking, like,
Yeah.
by the fence, and they thought it was, like,
It's
they thought it was
obviously a guy.
Rinky, which is, like, one of the workers there who's there for 10 years. They thought it was Joe. They thought it was the freaking producer.
He might have thought it was the producer also. And then he was like, why would I, like, throw away, like, my life's work?
Yeah, it was such, like, a... He said, like, the day it happened, he, like, got on his knees and just started crying in front of, like,
Dude,
the
I
fire.
would too, bro. He was
And then
suing
he's
for
just like,
years,
I gotta
he
get
just
out of
left.
here. He said he just
left.
took his dog, got in his truck, and went home.
Yeah, and you know what they actually didn't say on the documentary? I saw this on a YouTube video after I finished it. I don't know why they didn't put this part in. This only would have taken like another like 10 minutes of the freaking show. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But they left a couple things out of the documentary. I could understand most of them, but this one I was like, dude, they should have kept that in. That would have made it more interesting. But after the producer left, he was living, I think, in an apartment or a hotel room for a little bit until he can get back to like his own place or whatever. And it's him and his dog, and his apartment or a hotel room got lit on fire. Somebody went and they lit his thing up again.
Dude, what the fuck?
Within a month or so after it happened, and his dog died in the fire. So that make me even more pissed. But that wasn't in the documentary, but that did happen. You can look it up as a YouTube video where they say things left out.
That would have made me less, like, on the fence about who really did it.
Yeah. So now,
Because, you know, like,
now I don't think it was him.
I don't think it was him at all.
Because, dude,
Who the fuck would kill his own dog?
yeah,
to, like,
exactly.
just
So somebody
prove a
then
point, dude?
went and got mad at him, I guess. I don't know. Is Joe that crazy?
I think it was. I think he, like I was saying, he has a god complex.
But would he go and try? Because that means if he goes and lights up this guy's apartment while he's sleeping in, that means he wants the guy to die.
Or maybe just scare him. I don't know.
Dude,
I didn't read the.
If someone lit my house on fire, I'm not thinking like, oh, he's just trying to scare me. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, dude. This guy is fucking insane.
Yeah, I guess.
But we don't know who did it. I hope Joe didn't, because like I said, he seems chill. But then by the end of this, you're like, dude, what the fuck?
I don't know.
I don't know who did it. The video is very grainy. The security footage, you can't tell who it is. It could be literally.
It's just like a
any of the three.
CCTV cam.
It looked like the producer to me at first when they said that. Then when someone was like, oh, it could have been Joe, then I was like, it kind of does look like Joe. And then when they said it could have been the other guy, I was like, it does look like that guy too. Like, it looks like...
It could have been the producer the first time burning his own footage, and then Joe just got him back. And that would make more sense.
That is true. That makes sense.
I hate that there's so many possibilities. Like
You
gotta
really never know unless someone tells the truth. I hope if Joe doesn't get released like on good behavior or whatever early, and he has to give out, because spoiler, he's in jail right now for like 22 years.
It's public record.
He's been in jail, I guess, for like what, like maybe like a year or so now.
He got arrested in 2018, so like about under 2 years.
Yeah, so almost 2 years. So, oh, my knee just popped like a bitch. Okay.
Been sitting down all day.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
It's this quarantine. So, where was I?
You're talking about Joe being in jail.
If he doesn't get released on good behavior, which they tend to do, I feel like they might do it for him because like all he did. I mean, okay, obviously don't kill somebody, don't pay someone to go kill somebody, but obviously that goes without saying. And obviously that's bad. But look, the person didn't die. He didn't pay a fuck ton of money. I feel like if you want someone dead, that's gotta cost a couple $100,000.
I think he should have gotten at least like 5 to 10 years because I know it's a crime to like have a premeditated like, all right, like let's plan to rob a bank, and if they catch us with all this shit, like, oh fuck, that's like
they couldn't
like you were
get him.
planning to like commit the crime. That's
They
less
only
than
got him because he gave the guy $3,000.
Yeah, and the guy didn't even go to fucking Florida.
Yeah, I guess he just the guy.
We'll get into this part because that's the most like fucking.
That's the
crazy
very
part.
end of the thing.
Like episode 6. But
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Carol like killed her husband, and Joe's like he hates her even more than no one's even
You're
gonna
just
talk
saying
about
it like
it.
straight up. It's not even a question. Saying, yeah, Carol killed.
I
him.
really think she did,
Dude,
and most of
no-
America does.
How, bro? I don't get how this was just ignored for years. This happened like in the 90s.
Dude, there's even a small 20-minute part of the documentary where it talks about this drug lord who like went to jail, did his time, and now he owns a freaking like Colombian like zoo, and that's like the least interesting part of the fucking thing. It's just a chill dude who like got over being a drug lord.
What's interesting is how they got in, because they were like, oh, like no one can get in there, but they got in. They interviewed him real quick.
Yeah.
He was just chilling.
He's cool.
He was like, I'm
Just
the
playing
real
with
life
them.
Scarface.
Like my diaper. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. Oh man.
Fucking drug lord's like the most wholesome
Pretty
dude
much.
in the whole fucking.
He met Doc Ansel though.
Oh yeah, that's right. Dude.
He had pictures of him and Doc Ansel.
He looked way different.
That means Doc Antle low-key killing.
He hit him. Oh.
Oh, what? Dude, I thought it was funny when everybody was like, he's like, when I met Doc Antle, he's like, I didn't ask, like, oh, how do you have such a good control of the Tigers? I'm like, how the hell do you control all these women? How do you got all these girls on your, like...
Doc Antle's the complete opposite of a simp. You got girls simping for him.
That's
Power move, I think.
Dude, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I can relate in a way, dude. I got Emily simping for me hard, bro. So I had a picture of Emily mowing my lawn.
Oh, yeah. I'll do it for you.
She mowed half of it. I mowed the other half, and she did it just so it can go by faster, so we can hang out.
Wow.
It wasn't like I said, bro. It's Moni's lawn,
shit.
Emily.
Like sitting there with lemonade.
Slower. But okay.
Let's take a break from the crime shit and talk about Joe's personal life. So I know we talked about like how we became like close, but
he's gay.
Yeah. I didn't even mention that when I described him.
Yeah.
He's a gay redneck.
It's the least interesting thing about him, to be honest with you.
It adds to his charm, though.
It does.
He has, like, crazy outfits. Dude's got a drip.
Dude, I would low-key dress like
he's in a
bro.
polygamous marriage. He dated
that is true.
2 guys that actually turned out being straight the entire time.
You know, one thing also...
I guess his husbands were bi-curious. I can think that.
Maybe.
And then they just decided, like, I'm straight.
Maybe they just want the cash, bro.
Yeah, but he marries this dude named John Finlay as a worker, and then this other kid, this runaway guy from California, named Travis.
How old was he? Like 19 when he first got there?
Yeah, something. He was very young. There was like a 20-year age difference.
I think, was it Travis he was talking to?
Oh, in the video chat?
In the video no, the scene where, there's a scene where
he's like, hey, he's like, what's up, Travis? Like, tell him about your feet.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm like size 12, or some shit like that. It's like, something like that.
I forgot about that.
I thought that shit was so funny. That's how they just introduce him. He's like,
yeah. You know, I forgot about that part. I was gonna say.
What are you talking about,
dude? Oh, dude. Now I forgot because the fucking thing of the fucking tell about your feet.
Like, I like the feet.
I forgot about that, but damn, what was I gonna say? There's a part where fuck happened, bro.
Will they introduce Travis?
I'm forgetting. Something happened.
Will they shoot dummies and blow them up with termite?
Oh yeah, that has to do with Carol Baskin.
So yeah, that's
pretty, dude. The Carol Baskin chick sounds like a fucking bitch, bro. Like all the shit she's done, and then
I would like to go to her house, not to do anything, but literally just eavesdrop, just listen to what her and husband talk about behind closed doors.
Dude,
or just like watching Jeopardy.
It's probably weird, bro.
So you think they'll ever find out?
They're gonna find out. No.
It's like, alright, it's like, go give me a sandwich, honey.
Okay.
He's like, okay. It's like, put the leash on. Like,
oh man. Nick, you trying to get on the leash for someone?
No.
Not even for the wedding photo?
Like, in a funny way, probably.
That's probably what he was trying to do.
Oh.
Well, you think that was like the wedding?
Everyone thinks he's a simp.
Dude, obviously, bro. He looks.
I love how it's like right
idiot.
at the cusp of where simp is. It's so popular right now. I saw like on freaking Twitter, they're just like, bro, this dude gives off, like, Carol Baskin's husband gives off major cuck energy. Like, fuck this dude.
Cuck energy. Oh my god.
It's the opposite of big dick energy. Dude, what are you gonna say about Travis?
Yeah. Okay. So, the first part. This is, I think they said when Joe was first talking to him. Joe said this on the.
Oh yeah, when
he was like, he's like, you straight or you gay? He's like, I'm straight, and he's just like, he's like, you watch porn? And he's just like, yeah, and then just like he's like, when you watch porn, he's like, do you prefer to watch it with the guy got the big one or the little one? Which one do you prefer watching? And he's just like, well, the bigger one. And he's like, well, then you ain't entirely straight.
You ain't as straight as you think.
Yeah, and then when he said that, I was like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Everyone's like, oh,
yeah. I thought that was funny, but I was like, damn, if that's how he convinced him, bro, dude got away with words.
Or that guy's just unsure of himself.
Maybe.
I mean, if you're unsure about yourself, then like whatever. Like I was saying, I think it's the 2 guys he ended up marrying briefly. Were just like bi-curious and attracted to Joe, like in some way, whether not sexually, but just like,
dude, the money, bro. The dude was saying he's buying him like trucks all the time.
Well, before they got like married, and it was so wholesome and like
maybe
it was cool, but then it got to a point where like he just stopped caring about his husbands, and he would like
Carol Baskin.
Travis couldn't leave the zoo, He would just give
Oh, yeah,
him
that part's
drugs
so-
and stuff.
So, we're getting into this part. So, well, we already talked about he killed himself, right?
Yeah, but we can talk about what built up to it.
So oh man, they show. I didn't realize like or even think about like, oh, they haven't had like a one-on-one interview with him, any scenes with that. I just thought like maybe he left or maybe
Or he didn't want to.
yeah, something like that. Especially since like there was a scene where he was on the video chat. I was like, oh, he's still alive.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't think he
They
was
hit
dead.
that very well.
Dude, yeah, because that doesn't even come out till like episode 5 or something like that.
It's when he's like running for mayor and that campaign manager is just like
Oh yeah, by
he's
the way,
focused so much on his
Joe Exotic ran for president in 2016 and then for mayor of Oklahoma in like 2017 or 18 something
yeah,
like
2 years
that.
after the presidential election. It's like shifted the way
Yeah.
that works.
So I thought I didn't even know about that. Apparently he was a write-in on the 2016 presidential ballot. You could have just said, oh, Joe Exotic.
I would have voted
You would have voted for Joe Exotic?
because people are always like, "You voting for
I remember, I think I was
like Republican or Democrat?"
Joe Exotic.
Like, oh,
He said he was libertarian. And then so the guy was like, I don't think Joe Exotic knows what libertarian is.
oh yeah. Yeah, his campaign manager like helped him a lot.
Yeah, dude, okay, but pretty much Travis, I guess, had like an addiction to drugs. And I think both of them, they were probably all doing drugs around there. But both of his husbands, the other one was doing, I guess, like meth. He says at one point,
Yeah,
he said
do
it
a lot
fucked
of
up his
meth.
teeth. And then Travis, I guess, was doing like weed, probably other shit too. But there's a scene, and it's very eerie. I didn't realize this because obviously the first time I watched it, I didn't know the guy was about to kill himself. But I saw it recently. I rewatched it or a clip of it like last night. Pretty much right before they reveal that he shot himself, which it's either an accident, but then I was thinking like, yo, was it an accident? Because pretty much what he does is he likes to joke around. He has like a pistol and he like aims it at like the other people, like the campaign manager
He
who's
likes
there.
to joke around.
Yeah, he's like joking around, and then the guy was like, I always tell him like don't point it at people, like you don't know what's gonna happen, like it's not a toy. And he said he would just do it, like that's just like who he was, like he like joking around with it. And he said that he aimed it at him in that security camera footage, and he said he told him again, and he said something like, oh, this is like a Ruger or whatever, like
yeah, like you can't shoot it when
you
like the
can't shoot
magazine
it.
is out.
Exactly, and then I guess he put it to his head to like joke and do it, and then he shot himself. And
Yeah, and it shows the security footage, pretty much like how you're looking at me, and like
it's like if I was behind the camera and I did.
yeah, and you just see like a flash, and he's just like
Yeah,
in
and then
shock for like 10 seconds until like he just realized what happened.
Yeah, then he says like it's not like in the movies, like what happened, like it doesn't look like that, and dude, like fuck, that's so sad because I thought it was very sad because it's like unpreventable. I mean, it's obviously preventable. Like we don't play with guns, practice gun safety, but
Like it was eventually gonna happen. Like
yeah, it's not preventable because it's like an accident. You know what I mean? Like it was like obviously if it was an accident, then he genuinely did think like, oh, it's not gonna shoot. You know what I mean? But then
Yeah.
again, he's like drugged off his mind probably.
yeah,
But right before they show that, there's a scene where he's like sitting out there and there's a camera on him, and he's like, he literally says like, oh, I'm about to smoke my last cigarette before I die.
Oh,
And
yeah.
He says that, and then they're like, what he said? Like he's smoke his last cigarette before he dies, and then after that, I guess he walks in, and the guy campaign manager says, oh, like right before this, he was complaining about how he can't leave the zoo, he can't go get a job, like he gets kept here, he doesn't have enough weed, and like all this stuff. He's pretty much complaining about how his life was being, and I guess that might have happened because whenever you start getting off the drugs, like you're not getting the supply of it, then you start to have more of a clear mind, and you're realizing. Plus, also, obviously, you're having withdrawals. Also, like you're so dependent on that stuff. He was probably thinking like, dude, this sucks. Like, what's going on with my life? Like, I'm trapped here. It's like poor, like shit. Like, it sucks. I'm not even gay, and like all this stuff. And
there's like a moment of like clarity.
Yeah, and then maybe he was just thinking like maybe it would be easier to kill myself, and that's why it started making me think like, dude, did he actually do it on purpose, and like make it look like an accident? And that's like one theory, and I was like, dude, like I wouldn't be surprised. Like that would make it worse.
That makes it even more terrible, dude. That like
Yeah.
And I've always had like major sympathy for people that like kill themselves, cause like, just imagine like being in that frame of mind where you think there's no other way out or like a better solution than to just like take your life.
Dude, it's really sad. That's probably the most shocking thing for me of the whole docu-series. When that happened, I was like, dude.
And it sucks that he was like so much younger than Joe, cause
dude,
like
he was like 23, I think.
I'm not even 23.
Yeah, I think it was 19 when he met Joe, so that means he was only there for like 4 years. Dude.
It sucks, dude.
God, man. And he said that the campaign manager also said that Travis had like explicitly told him like, yeah, bro, like I'm not even gay.
Oh yeah. Both of his husbands were just like, we're straight.
Yeah, the other husband actually had an affair with one of the girls working there.
Oh yeah, like Joe's like one of his favorite workers.
Like, yeah, it was like one of the workers that had been there for a couple of years, like before like they even got married. And I guess and then she got pregnant. That's what happened. She got pregnant, and then I think that's when he decided to leave and go live with her. Because I mean that stuff, it sucks, dude. Like, the suicide shit is like the worst thing.
I felt bad for Joe, dude.
That's when I felt bad for him too,
dude.
Because like, okay, obviously, it was not a healthy relationship if he's not letting them leave, or like he's kind of controlling in a way. But even people that have like bad tendencies like that in relationships, it comes from a place of obviously like love. Like he obviously cared for both of them a lot. He must have to do all that. But it sucks because both of them obviously weren't gay, but he is, so he probably like cared for them a lot. And to think that you're like in love with someone and they're not actually gay, and then on top of that, one of them fucking dies in such a tragic way, and then the other one gets your like favorite worker pregnant and then leaves. Yeah. Like, dude, like holy shit.
That's why I started feeling.
What a hard life, bro. Now he's in jail for 22 years. When there's the other people, and we'll get to it.
Oh, dude, we haven't talked about Jeff Lowe yet.
Dude, that dude's a fucking
what's
asshole,
his name,
bro.
Alan Glover.
Yeah, I forgot that dude's name. The big dude worked for the FBI. He became an FBI informant. Dude, that shit. When I heard like FBI informant, I was like, "Holy shit! What the hell, dude? This thing went from tigers to like FBI informants. Yeah. All this shit. Like, oh my god. Pretty much, Joe's going through financial troubles because Carol Baskin's coming for him, trying to get the zoo shut down, and she has millions of her dead husband's money, and so she can fight this war all she wants. Joe's running out of cash, and he has too much pride to like let Carol win, you know. So he wants to keep going at her. He wants her to like. That's
when he starts like breeding tigers for money to like just keep pushing.
Exactly, and then that's when he also, I don't remember how exactly, but he meets Jeff Lowe, and Jeff Lowe is this guy. I don't even know what.
He's like used to be a convicted. He's a convicted felon. Yeah, he's like a businessman who runs like businesses in Vegas.
Dude, he's definitely a con man, bro.
Yeah, and he's been to jail before, and now he pretty much like cons Joe out of like here all these resources.
He steals his everything.
Yeah, he pretty much does what Carol does to Joe.
He steals,
but he's
his
still alive.
zoo.
Yeah, so he can have more money to like put towards Carol. They keep switching the name, like who owns the zoo, so it keeps like pushing back the. I guess like the legal stuff, because then they have to be like, oh, like now we gotta.
So Joe's thinking he just met like a new friend that'll help him out, and this guy's a millionaire. So now he's like, dude, I got my buddy here. He'll help me back this to fight Carol, and we can actually win now. And Jeff Lowe was actually like, I don't know if the guy was just playing Joe the whole time, or if he like legitimately like.
I think he like sees people who can help, but then it gets to the point where he's like, all right, he's gotta fucking go.
Maybe
he said
that's fucked up, bro. Because like. At the beginning, I was actually thinking like, damn, like this guy's a good friend, bro. Like, fuck yeah, like this guy came in here. Because there was one scene where this guy on the phone with Joe, and he's like shitting on Joe, like about like not having enough money on the shit. And then Jeff Lowe comes in, he's like, "Fuck you saying, boy." And he just like goes off on some guy.
He's like, "Who is this?"
And he goes like, "Who the fuck's this?"
Like, get off the line.
He's
no,
like,
shut the fuck up, bro.
And and then Joe Exotic's just like he like looks all happy. He's like smiling. He's like, "Fuck yeah, bro. Like we out here, pretty much." and then this dude. It seemed like he was helping him for the longest time. And then I guess you find out that he's not really helping him. He's now got the zoo in his name, so he's getting the money from the zoo. And then at one point, he pretty much just tells Joe, like yeah, like I'm your boss. And he's just like, yeah. And then he goes down from there.
You don't do that.
So he just took He stole it from Joe, and then this is where it just takes the worst turn, and it just goes completely to shit. It's already been going to shit for a while, but so Jeff Lowe, do that. Oh yeah, he pretty much lied about the millions too. He seemed
Yeah,
like
he like rented a house.
He rented a house.
Lamborghini payments were behind. He
Yeah.
pretty much like fronted that he owned as much money as he actually did.
Yeah. So so when Joe Exotic went to go meet him in his house, he had like some big ass house, and he was like, "Yeah, bro, like this is where I live, like this is the crib," and it was Airbnb pretty much. Like it's like if I just fucking did that shit. So he scammed him pretty much. He stole his shit, and on top of that, he would take some of the Tiger Cubs to Vegas and like sneak them into hotels and get people to pay him money to go play with a tiger in Vegas. So he was doing all this shit.
He wanted to do that, I guess, at a bigger scale.
Yeah, so dude. God, asshole, bro. So he did all that. While this is going on, though, Jeff Lowe, and the other dude, I guess. Oh,
Alan Glover.
Jeff Lowe has this one friend, I guess, who's also a fellow.
Yeah, it's like his right-hand man.
Yeah.
Who, like, helps him, like, around the park. And, like, him and Joe, like, Alan and Joe, like, he wants to be the boss, but he's like, oh, like, fuck you, Joe. Like, I work for Jeff.
Yeah.
And he's just like, bro, like...
So they don't really...
They hate each other.
They don't click at all. But I guess somewhere in the background of things, it's revealed that people are discussing that they're thinking of, like, killing Carol, I guess. That they want to, like, put a hit on her. But it's never explicitly said. Like, there's no, like, footage of that or whatever. But Joe's... Actually, I think there is at one point. Or something. I don't know. But Joe's saying, like he's in the back. He was in the back while it was primarily like Jeff and the other guy talking about it, because Jeff didn't like her either.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they all really didn't like her.
So like Jeff and like his like right hand man are in the back talking about like killing Carol, and then like Joe's just like, doing his own thing, and pretty much I think by the end of the series they framed Joe to like unknowingly give Alan like money after breeding tigers.
Yeah.
To go do something like some business thing in Florida, which is actually, like supposedly killing Carol, and they framed him that like
he
that
didn't
he
even
killed.
go.
Yeah, he didn't even go. We'll get
So
to that,
yeah,
but
what happens pretty much is there's this other guy, like that one big dude. I forget his name. I guess
the business guy.
Yeah. So
That
I guess
fat dude.
people come and question him, and he pretty much spills, and he says like, okay, yeah, like we've been talking, like me, Jeff Lowe, his right hand man, and then like Joe, we've been talking like we were gonna like kill Carol, and then they pretty much offer him, I guess, immunity if he becomes an FBI informant, and he like so they can get everybody else. So they would have gotten Jeff Lowe, who's pretty much like I guess like the brains of it, and then Joe, who's just there because like it's his park. Like they're living at his.
They use the fact to put him in jail, like
that he's like always had this thing with Carol Baskin, where he's always been like.
And you say that
Carol
like,
Baskin.
oh, like I fucking hate you, I'm gonna kill you, but like,
yeah,
very very rarely
and
does someone actually go through it.
And all of his close like park mates, people that like knew him before all the crazy shit went down, they all side with him. They're like, there's like, oh yeah, he would say that, but like we all said like that one guy with no legs.
Yeah.
He was like, he's like, hell, he's like, I probably said it. He's like,
Like 3 times a
he's
day.
like, none of us liked Carol, and he's like, we were just like, people just do that. Like he's like, I don't think he has it in him to do that. And they all, because they all are close with him, and pretty much I think that's what I think too. I think they kind of, whether I think he definitely took the fall, which is fucked because so this one guy has immunity, he's gonna get the other 3 of them, but instead of going through and getting all 3 of them, I think he texts Jeff Lowe and like lets Jeff Lowe know. So then Jeff Lowe guy's like, oh shit, he's like let them know like I'll do the same thing. He's like give me immunity or whatever, like I'll help out. We'll get Joe, and then they literally all just go up against Joe, and then all of them are like, oh, we'll get Joe then, like, and then Jeff Lowe then gets his right hand man, who's probably like his friend, so he lets him know, and he's like, hey, like the FBI's in on this, like you haven't done nothing, right? And he's like, no, he's like, I'm not gonna. And then he's like, oh no, I'm not gonna do it, and he's like, yeah, I was never gonna do it, and even so like you never know, maybe he would have done it if he didn't get told by Jeff Lowe.
It's like getting caught and then you just deny it.
Exactly. They don't have any evidence against him. So the only evidence they then had at that point was that there was an exchange of money for something at one point, and then they can put the fall on Joe to do this. So if Joe legitimately did put the hit on him, like that's bad. But he's not the only one. There's people.
I think there are
all
a lot
the other
more
ones
people
are much
responsible.
worse. The Jeff Lowe dude, he definitely needs to be arrested.
Yeah.
He's done so
He's
much
a fucking
shit.
scum, dude.
Dude, yeah. He's definitely, I don't know how the hell he's still out. Like, I really don't know. I don't know how.
That's probably the most infuriating thing about this is that, like, the dude that, like, did the least damage or the least horrible thing, like killing their husband.
It's like when you have a group of all these people that are bad, and, like, the one that's like, yeah, you've done a couple bad things, but, like, it's the least out of all these other people.
Yeah.
It's like putting, like, a school bully amongst, like, freaking Hitler, like, Bin Laden, like, all these terrorists. And
If
it's just
everyone
like,
else got jail time, I'd say Joe would probably have the least. Everyone else would probably have
if
life.
everyone
or, like,
got in there, I would be like, okay.
yeah.
But the fact that it's only Joe is very, very insulting.
Infuriating.
It's terrible, bro.
Fuck, dude.
He, and at the end, they talk about the trial. The last episode.
Oh yeah, Joe actually like stands up on the witness stand and just like says everything that.
Yeah,
It
dude,
sucked that no one on the jury was just like.
I don't know how no one on the jury didn't have that little bit of doubt, because like to me, it seems like they don't have a lot of evidence. Like they obviously have like the exchange of money thing, which is a big thing, but when you look at the whole picture of everything, I don't know what was.
Yeah, wasn't
presented.
Jeff and like his right hand man? They're the ones actually looking at like, all right, she goes on this bike
So,
trail.
yeah, the Jeff guy is the guy that went. This guy found out where she lived. Jeff. He finds out where she lives. He's like, hey.
Like she rides her bike down
And
this trail every day.
This is the part Jeff was talking about, or Joe talked about. He said, I was chilling in the back, and he comes in, and they're both talking about, like, oh, like, we could hide in the bushes here and get her here. Like, this is where we would kill her. We could do it like this. Like, she rides this long trail on her bike. Like, we could easily get her here. This is where she lives. And, dude, that's so fucking incriminating. Like,
Yeah.
bro, like, that shows so much intent. And, like I said, I don't know what was presented in the actual court case, because you could only go based off of what is presented. You can't go based off of whatever is out of the court. And I don't know what exactly was said, but when you look at everything, I'm very surprised that nobody, because it's beyond reasonable doubt. That means any little bit of doubt, you shouldn't say, yeah, you should say, no, I have doubts still.
Yeah.
That's the way the court system's supposed to be. If it's just one person, and I'm so surprised that not a single person had any doubt in that.
Nobody was convinced.
God, man. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't get it. And I was actually, it seems like Joe, too, was pretty sure that he was going to beat it, or at the very least wouldn't have that long of a sentence. But he literally, like, lost. It was, like, everybody, like, unanimous decision, and he got 22 years, and it's like, bro, like, what? Sucks, man.
So fucking annoyed.
And then that's when dude, this is the other part I don't get. He's at one point the FBI, I guess, visited him while he was in jail, and he says, I'm gonna tell you guys everything. He's like, you guys don't believe the shit I know. He's like, once I tell you everything that I know, he's like, you guys are gonna be like, why the hell are you in jail? Like, why am I the one in jail?
Yeah.
And I don't know if they had the full like footage or the full like testimony or whatever he told them, but I don't understand why, if that's true, why they wouldn't give him the same thing. Like, they're like, okay, like, we can reduce your sentence if you can get us like Jeff Lowe, or if you can get us like the other people that have obviously done worse. Because he must have shit on them.
I think the FBI should have went to Joe first to become like an informant and get
Why the hell did they
immunity.
go to this random dude?
Yeah, that dude's the one that had like sleazy nightclubs and shit.
Yeah.
And, like,
What the dude? Goddamn, bro. Joe really got screwed, man. Like,
I think it
regardless,
this shows like the smartest people are the ones that like evade the law.
that is true.
Joe just
That
wasn't.
just shows why Jeff Lowe's not in it and why Doc Antle was in it. But one thing at the end, Doc Antle, at the end of documentaries, a lot of times they throw up little like facts that have happened since the end of their filming.
Mhm.
Apparently, I guess Doc Antle's zoo got raided of December of 2019.
Oh yeah, and he
Just a
hasn't
couple months
he hasn't
back.
responded to these allegations of like his euphemism.
Yeah, so what?
Of, like, small
What's he doing
cats.
now then?
I don't know. I think
I'll look
I
it
think
up.
it's so good that this came out. Here's why I think that the Tiger King is really popular. It's because it came out during a time where everyone's kind of just at home sitting doing nothing, and we just want to indulge in this kind of like surreal like series that's like it's just crazy, dude. Like right now everyone's just at home kind of bored and watching this like insane story unfold. And now it's definitely changed like what the public thinks of these people, cuz like Carol can say like I didn't kill my husband, but like probably half of the people in America like think or know for sure that she did. You know?
Yeah.
Like their publicity has been completely changed and flipped on its head.
One of the big things I thought, and I thought this back when they first introduced Carol, I was like, bro, like, so she's getting mad at Joe and Doc Antle and all these other people that have their zoos or whatever, their tigers. And she's like, tigers should be free. They shouldn't be held like big cat.
Yeah, she was doing the exact same shit.
She has the exact same. There's no difference.
Dude, it's not. It's worse living conditions than what Joe had.
Hers look shitty as hell.
Her cages are small.
She had this shit-looking cage, and then she feeds the tiger through a fucking like box that the tiger has to put its head into to get like a drink of water. It's like a tiny little square that it squeezes its head into to like eat some food or drink. And Joe Exotic even went to her like place, remember, and he filmed it. And he was like, God damn, he's like, what the hell is this shit? And then
it's like the grass isn't cut, there's weeds going everywhere.
Dude, the grass looked terrible.
It was like a very...
In comparison to his, to hers, his looked so much better. And his was cheaper than Doc Antle's. Yeah. She has millions of fucking dollars. And her shit looks...
I think Joe just had more loyal workers.
For sure, man.
Dude, one of his workers, like, I think in episode 1 or 2, like, she gets her arm, like, stuck in the cage, and the tiger, like, rips it off. And she goes to the hospital, and Joe's just, like, freaking out. But she's like, you know what, like, just amputate my arm. Like, I'd rather do that than go through, like, 2 years of, like, reconstructive surgery.
And she was back at work in, like, 2 days. 2 or 3 days.
And then she tells Joe, like, look, I think it's just best if I just go back to work. Like, everything's cool. And she was a real trooper, dude.
Yeah, she's definitely loyal to
That was badass. And I think that's when Joe's, like, the good sides of Joe come out about, like, he cares about animals and, like, he wants Carol in jail. Not because, like, I guess she's hypocritical, but, like, she fucking killed her husband.
Yeah, but that was, like, I literally, like, as soon as it started, I was like, dude, she's doing the exact same thing as them. How are people not getting on her? Like, because she works with, like, PETA and also, like, Dodo.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell are they cool with her, like, what she does when she's doing the exact same thing? She has tigers that bro, she can say, like, oh, yeah, like, I'm just watching them until they, like, die, like, their old age, because they're just...
It's like the vaping and tobacco industry, like...
Yeah, dude.
It's like, stop vaping. It's like, but fucking smoking tobacco is still legal. It's like, dude, where's the fucking... It's a gray area. God. It's so stupid.
Yeah, oh, man.
Fucking Carol Baskin.
Dude, fuck, bro. She's the worst, bro, out of all of them, man.
I want to do something that's, like, I think... as like public people, like
we gotta smack Carol Baskin.
Someone's gotta burn her. Is it? No. hey, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Not us.
Yeah. Come on, bro. Like, bro.
Let's see. I'm trying to see what even happened to Doc Antle since the stuff got raided. It just happened recently, too. I'm surprised I didn't hear about that on the news. That just happened in December.
So does that mean like someone attacked his place, or like federal agents came and confiscated shit?
It just said they raided. I would assume the latter, but I'm trying to see.
Here, it says exactly he reveals exactly what happened.
Oh, yeah?
Everyone has their own version. Oh, he actually posted posted something on his Instagram.
He has an Instagram?
It's just Doc Antle. Tiger King, you heard about him? Tiger King, the new drama Netflix documentary, aired last week. It is a quasi-fictional drama more focused on shock value than the titillation of fact.
Oh, so you're saying it's cat?
Because it's saying like it's focused on like sensationalism, I guess. Well, focusing on the real-life rivalry between Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin, the insinuation that Tigers and Myrtle Beach Safari is a cult, which is his place, that exploits, euthanizes, and insinuates tiger cubs is reprehensible falsehood.
I doubt it.
Tigers have never been euthanized, or any cubs or adult tigers, nor any other animal. The insinuation is as foul as it is without foundation. One of our most popular ambassador programs is our Tiger Cub Interaction. It's important to understand that all of our cubs are born here at the preserve and are part of our breeding program that is conducted in partnership with Brian W. Davis, PhD, Professor of Genomics in the Department of Veterinary Integrity, blah, 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 blah. Okay, he's just pretty much saying, like, this doctor that worked with them legitimizes it. This is an important distinction that separates our program from others. Our cubs are not bred solely for the purpose of being a part of our interactive programs. They are bred as part of our captive tiger breeding program. That was the thing I was thinking is, instead of just euthanizing these baby cubs, like, after you stop exploiting them and making money, why not just have like people that want to protect the like endangered species and just put them out in the wild, you know?
Yeah.
And, like care for them and then let them be free, you know? Because like I can understand like as they're babies they need someone to take care of them, but when they're grown just let them out in the wild and like let them be free that way. Because you're helping them, sort of helping the problem. Save that for later. Dude looks like he enjoys it. He's like...
Dude, he looks happy.
He's like, yeah. Alright.
Dude, Nick, you gotta recreate that photo.
Let's see all the comments on this post. Pretty much Doc Ansel defending what these rumors. People are like, oh man, you sounded very greedy talking about the money they bring.
That is true.
It was you talking, not them. No one can know what to believe. I don't know. It seems a lot of people side with him. I'm kind of like, I don't know. With all that like cult shit aside with his workers, I think he's also kind of in the same level with Joe. Like he's very smart and like deliberate about what he says, and Joe's like kind of the opposite, but he didn't do as much bad as like the other people.
Yeah.
It's mostly Jeff and Carol.
I think
that are either insanely smart or just like very lucky.
Damn. The what was it? The one girl that they interviewed that used to work for Doc Ansel, they said that, or she said, like, oh yeah, he pretty much came up to me and said, oh yeah, like, if you want to keep being like one of the showgirls here or whatever that like handle the tigers, gonna have to get them breast implants. So that's if you had any like doubt of like him like doing any like thing to like objectify these girls that work for him, then there's definitely a big piece right there.
Yeah, doesn't he have like 4 wives?
They claim that. I just read something. He's like, nah. He's like, I don't got multiple wives. Like, I just have beautiful girls that work for me.
Okay.
The dude pulling. But like, bro, imagine you go to work and your boss is just like, you know, like, I'm just gonna give you some advice here, boss to coworker, boss to employee. Maybe we'd get a little bit more business. Maybe get a little bit more pay if you got the boobs enhanced. That dude.
Like get him enhanced and then maybe suck my dick.
Yeah, that too. Like, dude, what I'm saying is like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
Dude, like, I don't care what you work, like, what kind of work you're in, having. I
mean, those women obviously like either have no choice or are choosing to do that.
Yeah.
But if they have no choice, they can just walk away like that employee did. Looks like she has a nice life now.
Now she does, but like, I mean, at the time, think about it. Like, they're all young. They were all teenagers.
It sucks. He's pretty much controlling them off of their lack of knowing any better, you know.
Yeah, bro. He's taking virginities. He's enhancing boobs. I definitely think he's done some shady things. Whether or not he should be in prison, I think he's kind of safe. I definitely think he
deserves to be in prison as much.
Yeah, I think fucking Jeff Lowe and those other guys. Carol Baskin for sure, bro. All of them. Oh man, dude, I don't know. I'm very excited because like apparently I was very surprised to hear that they're releasing more episodes to it. I hope that's true, you know?
Yeah, I hope
it's not just Cat.
Yeah, I hope it's not just to do it just to be like, oh shit, this shit blew up. Let's make more. I hope it's to add more to the story, and then we get to see Jeff Lowe get taken down.
Dude, I want to see that dude fall. Him and Carol Baskin.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for sure the documentary that came out, it sucks Joe's been in prison for a couple of years, but it's like, it's blowing up right now.
Bro, we got to go visit him.
Oh my god.
We got to travel to wherever jail he's being held in. We're say we're here to talk to Joe Exotic, and we can bring the mics and get a quick interview in, put it on the podcast.
That would be crazy. Once we get freaking crazy big and we start doing stories, I'd like to take like this on the road. Just be like freaking.
That'd be cool.
That'd be so cool.
Dude, how the hell did what's his name? Just fucking 6ix9ine just got released from prison because he was like said on like Corona, but they said the same. Joe Exotic tried the same thing, and he's older, so he's probably at more risk than 6ix9ine. And they're like, nah.
I think it's because 6ix9ine has some like asthma problems, and like
Bruh.
Corona has a lot to do with your respiratory system, and like it can kill you that way.
But Joe Exotic's been like, he's done cocaine and like smoked, and he's like 60.
And I actually
Actually, how old is he? Let's see.
He's like 50 something. Dude, he can sing. I know this is so
Oh,
random.
yeah,
Dude, he makes music videos. He has so many. He has like 17 music videos.
We left out his entire music career.
Yeah, he has a music career, and he sings like freaking
Dude, I love
like George Strait, dude.
I loved the music video he made for like you killed your husband, Carol.
Oh yeah,
he made a whole song about.
Dude, he got a stunt double that looked just like her, and she's feeding him.
Feeding meat with like a
dude,
like
that
severed
so
body parts, so like tigers.
Bro, how can you not love that?
Bro, that part was so funny, man.
Come on.
This dude, man.
I think as much as it sucks though, even though he got fucked over, now that he's in prison, he said, look, like when I get free, I just want to start my life over.
Yeah, bro.
And I'm glad that like he's reached that point of like, all right.
Yo, bro, low key.
What?
I just looked up Joe Exotic to see how old he is. The first thing from the New York Post says that President Donald Trump will take a look at Tiger King Joe Exotic pardon possibilities.
Dude! That was probably so loud.
Exclusive news. This was just dropped, actually, like a couple hours ago.
Oh, dude.
Joe Exotic could be a step closer to coming out of his cage as President Trump on Wednesday said he'll examine a request for a pardon from Joe Exotic.
Pardon's just like you good, right?
Yeah, he can. Yeah, the president has the ability to pardon anybody from
Trump before you get out of office. The last good thing you do, just be like, hey, saw Tiger King.
Honestly,
big fan. You good?
Honestly, if he did that, man, like,
bro, I'd vote for him.
Dude,
I was actually already kind of planning to vote for him anyways. But if he did that, bro, he has my vote.
Dude, now it's just it's gonna be Trump versus Joe Biden with his declining cognitive health.
He's gonna be giving a speech. Like, turn around,
bro. How is no one? How is I don't understand. Whoever the fuck is in Joe Biden's team are fucking assholes, bro. That they're letting him continue this. Like this, it's obvious that he's like.
He crazy.
Like he's not crazy. It's just like he's getting old, man.
Yeah.
Like that sucks. Like
we were talking about Bernie dropped out. Like that's his last chance.
He just dropped out. Like what was it? Like yesterday? Yeah. He announced it.
Dude, so, I was pissed when Yang dropped out. I was gonna vote for him.
Damn, bro, we gotta get Joe Exotic back in the race.
Yeah.
He's get pardoned and he's gonna.
Dude, he has to be the freaking vice president.
Imagine if Trump got reelected.
Or like the
he's got Joe Exotic.
He has to be part of the cabinet.
Oh my god.
It has to be its whole other thing, just like the defense of Tiger. Oh my god, dude. Dude, send me that article. I want to read that.
All right.
But
dude, actually, if that happens, I will be actually very happy.
That would be very.
Dude, that'd be like the best thing that he did his entire presidential.
And the economy. Oh
my god! Yeah, that's you.
Dude, oh my god! I really hope that happens. Bro, this is gonna be the Instagram clip. If you guys are watching, go watch the full episode.
Yeah, bro, watch it. You're just sitting at home, man.
Just watch it, bro.
I know for a fact. I'm looking right at you. You know who you are. I know you're just sitting on your couch.
On your bed like this.
Or the bed. You're not doing shit. You don't got nothing to do. You're not getting paid. You're not doing your school homework. I know for a fact you're not. You're falling asleep with the computer on your
playing
Zoom.
Warzone.
You got your mic muted and you're watching YouTube videos. So go ahead and listen to the podcast. We're talking about. If you don't want to listen to Tiger King, we got all types of stuff. We got astrology on here. You want to hear that?
I'm trying to cover all the different aspects of life.
We got everything on here. We got life tips to teach you how to live your life better.
There's an episode about eating ass.
Yeah,
you can go look.
Go listen to that.
That's probably the most entertaining.
That's the most entertaining one. It's the Valentine's episode. We got like almost all the squad on here. Nick gives tips on how to eat ass. You don't want to miss that. If you're a girl out there, I know there's a lot of girls out there, and you're looking for that ass. Hey, we got Nick right here.
Okay, that's not going on Instagram.
He will eat any ass.
Okay, hey. Don't just throw me out there like some ass-eating hoe, bro. I have a standard.
Nick does it like it's his job.
I have astards.
It's his job. He wakes up and he thinks, like, how am I going to get better at my job? I will get a raise by eating this shit.
Oh, God.
I don't mean
like...
I don't mean...
Okay.
I mean like I'll eat this ass.
Oh, God.
So... if you guys are interested in any of that sounds good, then Cosmic Kickback is the podcast for you. Make sure to follow us down below. Follow our Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere. More ass eating coming soon. This has been the Tiger King episode.
Well, we're wrapping it up here.
We could if you want.
Yeah, we could.
This is gonna be
There'll be more episodes coming out now. I think we're gonna start releasing them Dude, honestly, if you really want, we could do 2 a week, which would be cool.
Yeah,
'Cause
I'm not
ain't
doing shit right now.
Yeah.
We're just in
Ain't
quarantine.
doing shit.
So, yeah, we know no one's doing shit. You better watch this, bro. This video better have, like, tons of views.
No. Better blow up, dude.
Yeah.
Joe, we're counting on you for
We'll
clout.
tag Joe.
Yeah, but more episodes. We might do 2 a week. I have some ideas. I want to talk about the streaming service wars.
Yeah.
There's a lot coming
new
out
shit
there. Let me look at the list right quick, bro. We got the baddie list.
Oh, yeah, Nick.
We got the deep web episode.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We got Inside the Mind of Michael. we got a lot coming.
We have a lot of stuff planned. Stay tuned. The day of reckoning will come.
For Carol.
Yeah, it's Carol Baskin.
Leave in the comments
You
early.
better count your
What do you
days,
think?
Carol Baskin.
If you guys have watched it, or just from what you've heard, who do you think is like guilty?
I guarantee Carol Baskin killed her goddamn husband.
Put a cap in your ass. I'm quoting Joe Exotic.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys thought. If you've watched this, if you haven't, make sure to go watch it. It's actually very good.
Netflix has some very, very strong documentaries, and this is definitely their top one. But
So thanks everybody for tuning in to this episode. Make sure to check out more. Make sure to follow us, subscribe, follow anything, like it, leave a review. Anything helps us out. And stay tuned for more coming soon in your quarantine.
wash your hands. Bye.